Alabama and Tennessee are joining that rush to redraw maps after the Supreme Court ruling. The Republican governors of Alabama and Tennessee announcing special sessions for next week. Alabama facing hurdles with this, where they can only actually act if the Supreme Court clears the way. But in the meantime, Tennessee's primary isn't until August, giving lawmakers there plenty of time to redraw that map. And weeks after Virginia voters passed a referendum to redraw the state's map, the State Board of Elections was unable to certify those results as legal challenges are playing out in the state's Supreme Court. The referendum approved a new congressional map favoring Democrats 10-1, with 2 Republican-led lawsuits challenging the legality of it. Because of the map changes and extra time needed, House election primaries will now be in August, with early voting starting June 18th.
Alito argued that the vast social change has occurred throughout the country, and particularly in the South, indicating that racism no longer exists in this country. I can tell you, as a black woman, that my father was born in 1949. He remembers segregated schools. He remembers segregated water fountains. He remembers that he did not have full civil rights. And he told me when I turned 40 years old that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And he is still alive today, and I am still alive today, and I have been discriminated against. And now I have to tell my children that they have less civil rights than I did when I was born.
That's such a ridiculous take. Such a ridiculous take.
I can't believe she said it.
She said it with a straight face. With a straight face.
Exactly. That is disgusting, despicable, and I am devastated by this particular Supreme Court decision, even though, Whoopi, we did know this was coming.
What about, wait a second, what about Clarence Thomas? Didn't he stick up for his own?
No, he did not.
He did not.
No. And he is part of the majority here.
Yeah. Of y'all to understand that what is on the ballot is they could wipe out with one ruling more than 30 black congressional seats. That means right now the Congressional Black Caucus is the largest caucus in the United States Congress, and this Supreme Court could literally wipe out half of Congressional Black Caucus.
How, baby, how?
So don't tell me you're being too emotional. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. Right now they're looking to wipe out Congressman Cleaver in Missouri. They're looking to wipe out Congresswoman Sykes in Ohio. They've already wiped out a black seat in Florida. I've told y'all repeatedly that they want to defund black America. They want to take everything economically, everything politically, academics, business. They want Jim Crow 2.0 to return. And what you had better understand is read a history book, because this is exactly what happened after the 1875 decision. This is exactly what happened after Plessy versus Ferguson, when they wiped out black representation in Congress. Go read the speech of that last black Republican who was from North Carolina. The reason the Congressional Black Caucus Phoenix Awards is called that, because he said to them, you may wipe us out now, but we're going to rise like a phoenix. Every single one of y'all watching, y'all want to understand why I'm trying to tell y'all, stop sitting here debating this bullshit, LeBron and MJ, and we talk about dance and everything. These white nationalists literally are trying to wipe out every black advancement that we have seen, not since the Civil Rights Movement, but since Reconstruction. This is not a drill. This is reality. You had better understand, I'm not going to be silent while it happens. And if you are black, if you're unwilling to fight, if you ain't got the spirit of Shirley Chisholm, of being unbought and unbossed, well, get your ass out the way.
Yes, I'm talking about that one had the audacity to knock down the Voting Rights Act, Section 2. And I just want to say one thing to you, because I'm a part of the hip-hop generation. And Jay-Z said it best. guess what? You still, to them, just. Don't you ever forget about from whence you came, because they will always see you as.
Justices in a 6-3 vote, a decision written by Justice Samuel Alito for the other 5 conservatives, are striking down a second majority black district in Louisiana, ruling that state officials focused on race, and that amounted to an unconstitutional racial gerrymander. Now, this decision is a major one under the Voting Rights Act. It will go well beyond Louisiana. It's going to make it, based on what we're seeing so far, it will make it harder for state officials to draw up these so-called majority minority districts, which have been used for decades and have increased black representation and minority representation in Congress. And it also, I think, will call into question about a dozen or so existing majority minority districts, mostly in the South. Now, those districts, as you know, Major, have been a way for Democrats to pick up seats in some of those states, those red states in the South. So this ruling is a win, I think we can say, for Republicans. But legally, this is a Supreme Court that going back 20 years or more has been saying in case after case, a consistent line of cases, that the Constitution is colorblind.
Boy, there's so much in there. But again, since I'm dealing with ministry, I'm telling you that it's not that what was done was illegal. It was not wrong. It was not unconstitutional. But see, if you've been promoted, if you've been only confronted with lies about what your politicians were doing, and that lie became the norm, then of course you'll feel like you've been robbed when the truth comes out and it gets disqualified. And that's what our side has to do. We have to point out why this was wrong to begin with and keep that before the people so that they can't keep telling you that you're being robbed. The Negro black preachers who are preaching about being an N-word and telling you that these people are trying to put you back in slavery, they've had these black people in slavery for this whole time. They were enslaved to lies. They were enslaved to relying on these black leaders to be their messiahs. And that's why they're so mad now, because their messiahship has got big holes in it. They pulled the rug out from under their black messiahship, and they can't play the games they were playing before. I think it should have been done a long time ago. I'm glad it happened now, but I'm getting a kick out of seeing these black soul race hustlers go frantic. And I think that we have to address the lies they've been telling that brought this about, and let people know that the reason why they're so angry is not because what's been done is wrong, but that what's been done should have been done a long time ago. But now it exposes and removes the power that they had with the rift that they were running.
To Ascension, the queen of sadness, I will see you on The View, and we will talk then. Today, I am going to Roland Martin. He said, let's look at the history. I say, you're right. Let's open the book. So here we go. If you go back and realize what the opposition to the civil rights movement and before, you want to go to Reconstruction, it is because, have you ever heard the saying, punch you in the face and then hide the hand? Well, that is actually the accurate history. What happened in America post the slavery, post emancipation, is that Black people were used to punch white people in the face and hide their hand. There's no attack on Black districts. There is, however, with this Supreme Court case, possibly an attack on socialist districts. Now, if you don't believe that's so, then go ask these Black leaders, what has been the advancement? Ask Roland Martin, since he said he's cracked open a book. What has been the advancement of any advancement since emancipation of Black people that did not advance socialism? Tell me what it was. What was it? What was it? Everything that allegedly advanced Black people also advanced a socialist agenda. So we got to stop talking about how every time there's some opposition to something that's so-called Black is based in race. No, It's not because it's based in race. It's because it's anti-socialist. And that is what they're truly fighting for. And they are standing behind Black people as the shield and the cudgel for their evil. I said it last week. Stop spreading our Blackness around like peanut butter to hide your socialist desires and agenda. Black people are waking up, and we're being sick of being used. You've had over 100 years to use us and tell us, oh no, it's really for your good. And after it happened, we find out it was always for the good of someone else and always for the good of the agenda of socialism. So in the attack on sovereignty, stop saying everybody who opposes everything opposes it because it's race only. Maybe there have been times when it was race, but it's primarily, go back and look, since you opened the book, go back and look. Most of the opposition to what was put in front of people as what would advance Black people was opposed because it was denying the sovereignty of the American citizen and using the grievance of Black people to do it. So they used Black people as the hand to punch white sovereign America in the face, and then they all stood back and hid behind us. So we're the face of this foolishness. Black people, get out of the way. Let these white socialists have to stand up and face the music on this. Step aside, Blacks.
Amen.
Move to the left. Beyonce told you, to the left, to the left. Everybody, let's go to the left.
The Congressional Black Caucus is the only minority caucus that says our mission is to ensure the rights of African American and all other marginalized people. The Hispanic Caucus don't say that. The Asian Pacific American Caucus don't say that. The Italian American Caucus don't say that. The Irish American Caucus don't say that. It's just the Congressional Black caucoids that go about this, and the majority of them are just like Roland Tethers. And so what winds up happening, see the problem with you and Celeste and all y'all keep talking about the bootleg. You got to jump in his ass. See, right now, Brother Wise, I'm gonna jump in your ass. That's the problem. Celeste, you need somebody to jump in your ass. So what? It's Jim Crow 2.0 right now, and they're gonna do it right now, and they're gonna do it to you, and they're gonna love it. And see when you look at history, okay? See, I've opened the books. I've opened Betty Crocker. I've opened Julius. I've opened Gordon Ramsay. I've opened Marcus. I've opened all the cookbooks throughout history. And that's why I can't wear a quarter zip like Minister Danzel. See,
go to my iPad.
See, you got to go to my iPad, right? No, you can't go there because there's cheeks all over my iPad, Mr. Danzel. This is a family show. When Kamala gave me that $300,000 for that interview, and I called it advertising, I had to jump in everybody's ass but hers. So that's what's happening. And y'all get my blood pressure up because y'all don't see it, that they're drawing weird districts so they can keep 5 Negroes together so that they can have a seat. They want to take you back. They're going to put you in chains. Trump, the new Hitler.
Exactly.
We talk about this all the time, but he's absolutely right with Roland, and that pastor is just absolutely ridiculous. Because how are we gonna invoke Jay-Z as some anointed when Jay-Z came out in the Epstein files telling Black people, well, yeah, sell your homes, do all of this stuff, right? And then to turn around and go, the Epstein and the other guy is sitting there laughing like, yeah, Black people should have been in the streets marching. I wouldn't have stood for this. But, hey, we got Jay-Z telling them to leave so he can own 1%. I don't even think he owns 1%. I think he owns like a point something.
1/15 of 1%.
There you go. There you go. And so with that being said, yeah, you're sitting there and you're like, well, I'm going to quote Jay-Z just because he says something that emotionally riles Black people up, which is where Black people usually are, with emotion. And then you have Cloudy Hostin over there. Cloudy Hostin, I'm telling you right now, she gets on my last nerve. And the reason why she gets on my last nerve is because she touts this whole I'm Black, something happened to me, woe is me, when in all reality, you literally come from the same colonizers you're talking about literally come from that. That is your stock. Your mother
No,
pretended to
baby, don't
be
tell me
Rachel
that.
Dolezal
Don't tell me that,
at some
darling.
point when she came here. So there's another person that's being disingenuous. And Roland Martin, I just, my problem with Roland is the fact that he doesn't care about anything other than keeping Black people where they should be. And I say where they should be because the liberals, I'm telling you, the liberals think that that's where you can go. That's the only place you can go. You better not step over the line because white liberals and Boule crowd, they will tell you where your place is. Absolutely where your place is. And when you try to get smart and be an uppity Negro, or when you try to be, you try to be a Hispanic that wants to buy different conchetas, okay, you ascend to be the C word because you dare to think different. You dare to be different. You dare to have different ideas on how things should work for quote unquote marginalized groups when there's only one group keeping you marginalized. And the last thing I'll say is they like to bring up Shirley Chisholm, especially when we're talking about Miss Curry. They like to bring up Shirley Chisholm, but Shirley Chisholm had one thing she said on the campaign. She said, I went out and campaigned for all the liberal white women. Where were they at for me? So that should have told you something right there. That's the reason why Ratchet Crockett lost. White liberals don't care about Black people. White liberals just want to win. And that's what having these congressional gerrymandered districts are about, winning.
Because I was like, it's so interesting, right? Miss, you call her Cloudy.
Cloudy.
You go with Cloudy. We'll go with Cloudy. Hosting decided to me, she code switches, and her code switches. Sometimes she's Black, sometimes she's Puerto Rican. She doesn't know which one she is, what day of the week, but she gonna code switch according to what benefits her in the conversation. That is
that's right.
Now, Cloudy hosting family allegedly, we'll just say allegedly for social media purposes, were colonizers and slave traders. I don't hear you having such big conversations about your family being slave traders. You want to talk about the civil rights that was removed from you, but are you owning up on your family owning slaves? I'm just saying. I want to hear you have that conversation. Cloudy hosting. I want to hear you talk about it.
Are you going to give some reparations?
Exactly. I'm sure she wants to tap into that. Now, the thing is, let's go over to that pastor. Last night I went off. I'm sorry, I went off last night. You didn't get to see this, Brother Wise. I went off because I said at this point in time, anybody who is not doing the will of my Father, we are no longer calling them Christian. And I'm telling everybody in this community, do not call them Christian. They're not Christian because we Christians are confusing people when we say this person's a cultural Christian, this person's a compromised Christian, this person's a lukewarm Christian. We are confusing people. There's only one type. There's only one type. We are doing the will of our Father. If you're not doing the will of the Father, if you are the pulpit quoting Jay-Z, you are not part of the family. You are not in the body. He belongs to his father, the father of lies. He belongs to the synagogue of Satan. Period, point blank. And I'm not mincing my words about that. Now, it's real interesting to me. Let me tell you about these people. Because the only time you're Black and they want to fight for you is when you have a D behind your name. Because they ain't gonna fight. Let me just go to Virginia for a second. They told everybody not to vote for the Black woman, vote for the white woman. So this is not about Black. I want people to understand this. We've been saying this forever and a day. It's not about Black. It's about what you have behind your name. If you have D or do you have R, which one is it? Because they don't like Byron Donalds, they don't like Wesley Hunt, they didn't like Condoleezza Rice, they didn't like Winston Earl, they don't like nobody Black that has an R behind their name. You don't exist. So I don't want to hear nothing about we don't have representation. No, you want people that look like you, that believe like you. That's what you want. And the only time you want someone that doesn't look like you is if someone like us is on the other side. So that's why you put in Abigail Spanberger talking about, she could two-step at the cookout. Right. That's the only time y'all make those acceptances. I want to hear nothing. As I said before, and I will say it again. Last week, them people on Facebook is losing their mind because the minute I said it's amazing to me that the same people that said redlining was racist are the same people who want voting district maps drawn out by race, make it make sense. They got mad. They're still mad. They're still reeling in the comments for that statement. They said, Chris, you don't understand the nuances. You don't understand this. You don't understand that. No, you're doing the exact same thing. Y'all want to keep feeding the victim mentality industrial complex. That's what y'all want to keep feeding. But we're not going to play that because according to Galatians chapter 5, verse 1, I was made free the minute I accepted Christ. There's freedom in Christ. I am no longer a slave. Now, if you choose to remain in that mindset that you are enslaved, then be a slave. I am not a slave. I am free. And that's what we get in Christ. The thing is, the problem with the maps, these Black Democrats and white liberal Democrats will have to prove true ideas, true things. They have to now move on merit.
Oh, Celeste.
Capabilities, and that's a problem. No longer can you go off of the letter D or your skin color. You're going to have to show that you can actually do something to get a vote. And the fact that y'all have to work, since y'all like to get everything for free, that must really frustrate y'all. I'm sorry that y'all actually have to do work and actually have to prove that you're able to do stuff, and DEI does not exist for you on this side.
Spot on with your take.
Oh, yes.
The pastor, I was disappointed. And I was disappointed in the pastor and what he said in the pulpit, but I'm even more disappointed by the people in the congregation.
They were clapping like he was preaching.
Clapping, yelling, screaming. I would assume that some of them probably stood up. They didn't pan out to the crowd. I was trying to see if I could find a clip that showed them pan out to the crowd, and it didn't. That didn't happen. And that's what saddened me.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, that's not an anomaly there.
No,
when you start thinking about, when you think about the Black church, and when I say the Black church, I'm talking about the predominantly Black church, ran by these, as Minister Denzel would call these ecclesiastic pimps.
That's right.
In these pulpits, pimps. You have a deceived person leading deceived people, and it's really sad. It saddens me, man. And these are the same type of people that will tell you, "Hey, don't be so pro God that you forget to be pro Black." These are the kind of people that, will tell you, I'm a Christian, but I'm okay with the 600,000 babies that were terminated in the womb last year. These are the same people that, will talk about being pro-Black with the fist up, but don't care that, you're basically taking out your future before they even get a chance to get a sip of air on God's green earth.
Amen.
These are the same people that will tell you, I'm raising my daughter to just stand on her own and be by herself. These are the same people that are anti-marriage. These are the same people that spend tons of money on prom and all this other type of foolishness. Same type of people that when their daughter comes home and they'll go and put $10,000 into a gender reveal party. It's so crazy to me. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link is in the description box below. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.